Hi, and welcome to Life on RoCy Ridge, where you will follow my husband and I on our RV lifestyle journey while we build our home on 38 acres in northern Nevada. We're excited to bring you along in the journey. In July of 2023, we purchased 38 acres in northern Nevada. We celebrated with pizza and champagne on our land the day we closed. Shortly after, we got a new addition to the family. I walked around taking photos of all of the wildflowers that were growing on our land. I was so excited to see what's up here. Just gorgeous. My absolute favorite thing though, the sunsets. We purchased another RV and moved up in April 2025. By that point, we had added 2 additions, and it snowed the weekend we moved. These guys love it up here. It's taken 3 years, but we're finally moving forward with the build. Look at this amazing space. Now that you're caught up, let's take a tour of the exterior. So this driveway was cut in March of 2024. Is that right? March of 24? No, I'm sorry. March of 2025. And our temporary home site was created. And the space where our RVs are currently situated is in the southwest corner of our property. This would have made a really good home site, but we've got dogs and we did not want to be that close to the road, which is literally just right there. We have a road on each side bordering our property, and it's the main road to access all of the parcels up in this area. And while we only have neighbors to our our west and the north of us, the parcels to the east of us are owned and could eventually be developed. So we just wanted to avoid being super close to the roads with the home, with the pups, to prevent them from going up onto the roads. They do have GPS fence collars, and they do listen to their beeps very well, so they stay within their boundary. But we have always wanted the home site to be on the lower level of our property. So this is the current temporary homestead. We do have a 2,500 gallon water tank for our water needs. There's a local business that comes and fills us every time that we need it. One full tank of water does last us about 6 months. So for the entire time we've been up here, we've had only 3 fills. Our initial time up here, we were renting a tank. And once we emptied that tank and we're looking at the cost of tanks overall and how we could utilize it for the future, we did opt to buy one. So this tank is owned. And that same company that we were renting from does come up and do the fill. So we get the fill every 6 months. We're also on solar. This is our temporary solar farm. We get a lot of wind through here. So one of the things that we've learned is that the wind can be merciless and take out our necessities. My husband built some amazing solar frames. Unfortunately, some of the materials we used were just a little too thin and could not hold up to the winds, and a couple of them have broken, so you will notice that they're a little bit bent. One of our upcoming projects is to get that reinforced, and I will film that and talk a little bit about how we plan to stabilize that. We have 2 different types of panels. We have some soft panels. This unit here is his office, and it is 100% powered by his battery banks and inverter, and those solar panels that are hooked up to it, plus this one that's over here. So that RV is completely independent of the other one. This one is a 17-foot RV with a Murphy bed and is used solely for my husband's office. Our main living quarters is a 40-foot Aurora, and that's this one here. and it is a 2-bedroom. So just a quick exterior tour. You have this back room here. It is currently set up for all of our pets. We have 8 pets on the property with us. We had 10 when we moved in, and I'll give an explanation about what happened to 2 of our beloved babies a little bit later on. The middle section, there is the bathroom here, and then the kitchen and living is this section here, and then the front section is the master bedroom. We did have a full queen bed in that back bedroom, which we removed, and now that space is dedicated to all of the animals, and I will do a pet room tour in another video. So continuing with the exterior, here's our solar area. And then we've got some additional panels over here. And then this is where we park our flat trailer. We've got an area in the middle here that is an emerging pile of things that need to go to the dump. Once this gets big enough, we're actually going to load up the trailer and take all of that out to the dump. We have our small storage shed here, our large storage shed here. This is an 8 by 10 tough shed. We have our 1,000 gallon propane tank here. A dog house. This is another project that we need to finish. We actually want to have this dog house attached to our kennel. This is our dog's outdoor space. So let's talk a little bit about the wind. I mentioned that we do get some fierce wind up here. Everywhere that you see the gravel is actually where this kennel used to sit. So it used to sit out like this. And we just had an atrocious windstorm one day, like 65-mile-an-hour gusts that completely pushed everything this way. No animals were in it at the time. Everybody was inside. That tree pretty much stopped it from moving any further, and I think just the overall weight of all of the panels. But another one of our upcoming projects is going to be straightening this out and placing boulders on the north edge and the east edge, because the winds come from the southwest, to prevent that from moving. And any suggestions on how to better reinforce that are always welcome. But this is where the dogs hang out if we have to leave for extended periods of time. They do have plenty of shade. They get plenty of water. And this is just where they hang out if we're off the property for an extended period of time during the day. Because having them hang out inside the RV is such a cramped space. Their bedroom is far smaller than this 200 square foot kennel. So they have this outdoor space. We did put in a little bit of a gravel walkway so that we can travel out from the RV to the kennel without having to go through a lot of mud when it's really bad weather out here. You will see they've got some toys scattered about that I do need to go and pick up. But yeah, this is the dedicated dogs space. All right, so this is the back side of the homestead. Our pad was cut down about 4 to 5 feet from that side and pushed forward. So this part that I'm standing on actually used to be as low down as the ground down there. But we had all that built up so that we could have the RVs on it and live out here temporarily while we plan for and build our home. So I know that's a little bit cluttered right now. We do use everything that you see out there on a regular basis. So it goes from being straightened up to cluttered pretty frequently. All right, continuing the exterior tour, we'll walk over here to our storage bins. So we moved up to this property in April of 2025, and at the time, we thought we were on track to get started with our build in June. So we rented a storage unit, loaded up all of our home's furniture, you know, the dishes that we're not using, the kids things that we've had since they were little babies. They're all adults now, but just everything that you fill a house with, right? We both had households when we got married, and combine those two households into one, and then combine that one into a couple of storage units. Well, when we reached our first hurdle in this process, which was learning that we were not in fact starting in June of 2025, we realized that those storage costs were going to very quickly add up. So we had a really good deal in the beginning. The cost of the storage units were under $200 a month, and it was very manageable. But after that 6-month deal expired, they would not extend it, and it just became very, very expensive to have those units. So looking at all of our future plans, we decided to invest in these two 40-foot storage containers. And the ROI on these is about a year. So knowing that we would be up here for at least that amount of time, we went ahead and invested in the 40-foot storage units. And our entire lives are contained in these two 40-foot storage units. It has all of our home's furniture. It has his entire shop, all of his machinery that he's not using out here, table saws and things of that nature, all of our boxed items, our kayaks are inside of there, all of our kayaking equipment is inside of there. So it is really nice. We finally got these, both of them, up here on the property, on the pad in September of 2025, and got rid of that storage payment. And it's just been such a good feeling to know that all of our belongings are finally up here with us. We purchased this last year as well, and my husband has been learning so much on how to operate it. He actually used it to create the road that connects up here. We used to park up here when we first bought the property in 2023, and just to see how far it's come. It may not look like much, but it used to look like this everywhere. And so he's gotten it all cleared out. We brought out gravel. We created a connection up to our house pad over there. He created the pad for the two storage containers and to park the tractor out here. And we started to cut in a road that is going to connect down to our home site. So the long-term plan is that we will have an entrance from one road. You'll be able to drive all the way across and connect up here to the upper part of the pad and back onto the road. The short-term plan, excuse me, I have a little sniffle. The short-term plan is just to have enough of the road fixed at the home site to get the build completed in the short term. So from here, you can see where we have started to clear brush. That is not a level home site down there by any means. There's still a bit of a slope, and so we will be properly grading that section in the next couple of weeks. We hope to get that going. But you can see from here down, I would say about 300 feet lower in elevation than we're currently standing is the future home site. So that's going to be fully graded, leveled out, and we will have a road that leads right up to that clear opening and then right out to the road. There's a white sign up there that I just am not sure is visible in the video quite yet. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. So there, that white sign that you see right there is actually going to be the entrance, and that just connects directly to the road and will lead right up to that home site. And I will do a full home site video as that starts to get going. But as far as our property and our current temporary home site, that is everything on the exterior. So I'm kind of hoping that people are interested in seeing, how we're living up here. Some of my future video plans are to go over how we survived the winter, what we did to insulate and set up the main living RV for some energy efficiency, how our solar is working, what system we use, what we wish we did differently. As I mentioned, we expect to be up here in the RVs at least 8 months to a year more. As the lower level home site gets graded and flattened out and we see how much space we're working with down there, we are considering taking the RVs down to the bottom, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be worth moving everything to get down there, or just hanging out up here and not being in anybody's way down there, but we'll see how that goes. So I hope you guys are interested in coming along on this journey. This is my first time ever recording or documenting anything I'm doing in my life, but it's interesting to us and it's interesting to our family members, so I thought it might be interesting to the public too. So if you are interested, all the things, follow and like and subscribe, and please comment. All comments are welcome, but remember to be kind. Thank you.